Hey guys, it's Fitz here. No need for a long introduction. These are the top 10 best Nintendo Switch games I've ever played. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And also, feel free to comment. Let me know if you agree with this list or if I'm a complete idiot.
Well, I'm an idiot.
That said, let's get to it. Okay, so before we get into the list, I just want to qualify the choices you're about to see here. I have not played every single Switch game.
What?
This list is likely to be updated as time goes on and I play more games. Now, there are some games on here that might surprise you. There are some games that are not going to be on here that might surprise you. So at the end of my list, I'm going to give you a glimpse of some of the games that I've played that could be contenders that did not make this list. And conversely, I'm also going to give you a list of the games I haven't played that could also be added to this list.
Shoulda, coulda, and woulda.
With that said, let's check these out. At number 10, we have Shin Megami Tensei 5. So when this game first came out, it wasn't exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, it's a lot like the Persona series. Heck, it's even from the same developers who made the Persona series. Shin Megami Tensei is basically the sister series to it. If you ever played any of these games at all, think of an adult, darker version of Pokemon. What I mean by that is there are demons roaming the earth. You have to effectively capture them, just like you capture Pokemon. They join your team. They have different fighting abilities, different specialties that they can use. And throughout the game, you're trying to acquire more demons at higher levels, beat bosses, beat dungeons, etc., etc. This game is outstanding because it really touches on a lot of key moral issues, like gods and humanity and the divine, and what's the role of humans in this universe. So in this game, spoiler alert here, but not really because the game starts with it, the game begins, like off the bat, with a declaration from Lucifer, basically the devil, that God the Creator as we know is dead. And now with God being dead, there is like a vacuum of power that's up for grabs. And all of the demons that exist, they used to be former gods, gods of past, like Zeus and Thor and others like that. Now that God the Creator is gone and there's no longer like a force holding them back from obtaining knowledge, they're able to rise up and become deities again in their full right. So you as a player going through it have to decide if you want to live a world where it's multi-deistic or multi-theistic, multiple gods existing throughout the world. If you want to go back to a monotheistic rule where either it's Lucifer or some other god, you become the god yourself, or you can reject all gods with your power and be like, no, not for me. So the game really focuses on the choices that you make to lead you down a certain path, and it's pretty rewarding. Now, this has since been re-released with revamped content to it. It's now available on all major platforms. So if you haven't played this game before and you're a fan of the Persona series or Shin Megami Tensei series, definitely check this out. At number 9, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus. So you knew a Pokemon game would end up on my list. It's no secret. I am a huge fan of Pokemon. Been a fan ever since the old days with Red and Blue when they came out. Now this one is kind of a throwback. It's a different region. It's not the Kanto region at all, but it feels a lot like it. Now I actually don't remember the name of the region. It really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. What you have in this game is what I was wanting when I was 10 years old and they announced that Pokemon Colosseum was coming out for Nintendo 64. What I mean by that is it's an open world Pokemon game where the Pokemon are actually walking around in the landscape in front of you. And you can actually go up to them and like throw a Pokeball at them, choose to catch them, etc. Now this is a big deal because, as I alluded to, this is the game I wanted back in like 1996, 1998, whenever the heck they were releasing the Pokemon Colosseum games. Never got it back then. Finally got it here now. Now I also like the story behind this, and that Arceus, for those that aren't familiar, Arceus is basically the creator god Pokemon. I believe it's not only created all the Pokemon, but created you and me as well. So I thought that was a really interesting take on the game. Now apparently Arceus has been introduced in prior Pokemon games, I gotta be honest with you, I skipped a few generations. Frankly, a lot of the XY Evolution series, Mega Evolutions, they kind of lost me. I'm more of a OG fan. Just give me the Pokemon, let me do my battles. That's what this has. Straight up battles. It's got an interesting system where you can go up and just throw the Pokeball using your Wii controller. It's really satisfying and really fun. Now, I believe there was also a peripheral that came with this that was an actual Pokeball controller that you could throw. And I don't believe you're actually supposed to throw it. I think it had like a wristband that went around you so you could throw it and it would still be in your wrist. But awesome concept, awesome idea. I love just exploring the open world in this, catching Pokemon, gathering them, building up my team, leveling up as I went. And it was a highly satisfying experience for me. So at number 8, this might come as a surprise to you, the first surprise of the list. This is Arcade Paradise. Now this game has also been ported over to the other major consoles. I believe there's even a PC version. So why did I put it on this list, you ask? Because it's a darn good game. It's a lot of fun to play. I actually first played this on Xbox Game Pass when it was available over there. I beat it, and then when I saw that it had the physical release for the Switch, I bought this version, played through this, beat this again. So I actually did a review on this game, and I talked about all the high points of why I like it and why I think you should play it. Be sure to check it out if you haven't. But, I mean, in a nutshell, it's got all the elements of a game that I like. There's a business side of it, in that you're literally running a business. You start out with a laundromat that your father handed to you to manage. You slowly start to incorporate more arcade machines into a back sliver of the laundromat. It gradually becomes a full-fledged arcade, no more laundry machines in there. Not only are you managing a business, but as you go, you can actually play the arcade machines in your arcade. And they each are their own standalone game in their right. Granted, a lot of them feel like clones of games you might know, like a Pac-Man game, a Grand Theft Auto game, Smash TV, etc. But they're all super fun and super original in their own right. The soundtrack is awesome, the gameplay mechanics are awesome, the story is awesome. I love this game. I know it's not going to be for everyone. I know people are going to light me up in the comments of why I'm including this in a top 10 game of all Switch games. But hey, my list, my choice. And now a safer pick a lot of people are probably going to agree with at number 7, Fire Emblem Three Houses. So ironically enough, this is the first and only Fire Emblem game I've ever played. I don't know why I took my time. I don't know why it took me so long to finally play these, but I got this at a good price and I decided, hey, let's dabble in this. So in a nutshell, if you're not familiar with this game, there's basically 3 different houses. There's an empire, there's a kingdom, and then there's like a democratic alliance where basically the heirs to those leadership factions are all together in a school. You start out the game and you have to choose one of the factions to play as, and depending on how you play, your different narrative interactions or dialogues with different characters in the game change. I believe there's also 3 different endings to the game as well. So when I played through, I played as the Imperial, the female character. I didn't go back to play as the other 2, but I heard that they're outstanding to play through as well. But this game, you know, it's a turn-based, tactical battle simulator sort of game. It's a lot of fun, actually. This one's interesting in that once a character you're playing with dies, they're gone from the game. So it really had me carefully picking how I wanted to progress through a battle and really thinking about different moves, different weapons, different upgrades, stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm curious to go check out the other Fire Emblem games in the franchise as well. Number 6, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So I also did a review on this game. This is an outstanding game. It's the first time we've seen Kirby in a 3D environment. I mean, everything about this game. You got great levels, great gameplay mechanics. Kirby can swallow up a car and become a car and drive around. I mean, how flippin' cool is that? This game, I feel like, I don't want to say it flew under the radar because a lot of people knew about that, but it definitely got outshined by some of the other bigger franchises in Nintendo's library, whether that's Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart, whatever. I love this game. I think it's a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend you play it if you haven't checked it out yet. Here we are going to the top 5. This might be controversial to some, but for me, I don't care. Number 5 for me, Balatro. The reason I tried to preempt the controversy is because this game is available on pretty much any console. You can play it anywhere. I will say though, it is extremely satisfying playing this on the Switch in handheld mode. And for the record, that is how I play my Switch exclusively, in handheld mode. So it's awesome being able to take this game with you on the go. If you're not familiar with it, how dare you, shame on you, what rock are you living under? But it was Game of the Year for a reason, right? It's a roguelike, deck building, poker card game, where basically the jokers give you special abilities.
You can call me Joker.
You can only have a limited number of jokers in your hand. Each hand you progress through, you're trying to beat the overall ante with high blinds, low blinds, etc. But you really have to work out the combo multiplier. So you might get 4 times as many points for a pair, or 8 times as many points for a full house, and you got to stack those up with the different abilities that your jokers have. Outstanding game, a lot of complexities to it. I'm sad to admit I'm not very good at it, but I love playing it. I've sunk a lot of time into it, and I really like how you have to be thoughtful with your approach to deck building. Great game, and it really shows how sometimes even the most simplest of games, and I mean graphically simple, stylistically, gameplay mechanically simple, all that jazz, sometimes the simplest games are the best. Okay, number 4, this is a big one for me. This is Metroid Dread. And I say it's a big one for me because I am not a Metroid person. I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of Metroid, because it makes you sound like I'm a hater. But Metroid and I just never really hit it off like some of the other Mario properties out there. I love this one, however, because just the overall sense of pure dread. They capture it perfectly with the environment, the music. You got these weird like mechanical robot things that come out of nowhere and they start chasing you through a map and you gotta like get out of there. Outstanding game. Now usually I'm annoyed with the whole let me traverse back 50 parts, 50 rooms to go back somewhere and unlock something with my new laser cannon arm that's equipped, yada yada yada. I actually didn't really mind it in this game. I don't know why, but this game brought me back to the table with Metroid. Heck, it's my number 4 best Switch game ever. So Metroid Dread, definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Okay, at number 3, Xenoblade Chronicles: The Definitive Edition. So for those that aren't aware, Xenoblade Chronicles, massively popular franchise exclusive to the Nintendo. There's this game, there's number 2, number 3, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then there's kind of a prequel to number 2, which is like Torna or something like that. I don't own that one, but this is the first Xenoblade game that I played. Now I will say, I kind of juggled, went back and forth if it should be in the top 3 or not. The reasons why: the dialogue's kind of campy. Sometimes it's painfully campy, but that's okay. The reason why it stayed in my top 3 is because when I think of all these great games that I've played, and as you see, I have 150 plus Nintendo Switch games. But as I've played games and I think about the ones that have stuck in my memory long after I finished playing, this is one that I still think about. The story was so compelling. The gameplay, it's hit or miss. It's not for everyone. I know I struggled with some of the combos and what have you. I don't care. The story in this and the emotional connection I felt, the way it pulled me in, that resounded with me. And that was enough to get it at number 3 on my list. Now, I'll get to it in the later parts, some of the games I haven't played. I know people love number 3. I have not played number 3. So it's very well possible that one day number 3 will eclipse number 1 on my list. But for now, Xenoblade Chronicles: The Definitive Edition is here. It's here to stay. At number 2, let's get ready to piss some people off. Here we go. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And why would I tick you off? Because it's not number 1. Now let me tell you my history of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This, as many of you know, was a Switch Day 1 release. I bought my Switch on day 1. This was the game I bought with it, of course. I played this game back in 2017. I got all the way up to the end, Ganon's castle, and I stopped playing. I never went to battle him or to beat him. It's kind of like what 50 Cent says.
I watch gangster flicks and root for the bad guy and turn it off before then because the bad guy died.
That's how I felt about this. I never wanted to beat Ganon because the journey would end for me. So that was 2017. I haven't picked up this game ever since then. Still a great game. I just talked about Xenoblade and how games I look back on and still think about and, you know, what they mean to me. This means a lot to me. This was a great game. It still is a great game. I know a lot of people still play it today. I just haven't revisited it since 2017, so 9 years have passed. Nothing against the game at all. It's an outstanding game. I will say this though. I know a lot of people are all into like the crafting and building stuff.
Not for me.
Just give me the sword, give me my shield, let me go at it. I don't need to make some soupy-doop potion or this or that enhancement. Don't care, didn't need it. But Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Great game. If you haven't played it somehow, shame on you, go play it. And now, my number one Switch game. You probably could guess it. If it wasn't Zelda, what did it have to be? Super Mario Odyssey. So this game, I know a lot of people are going to agree with me, probably the best Mario game ever made. I personally still think it's Super Mario 64. I love that game. I don't really see anything taking that over for me personally. If we take Super Mario 64 out of the equation, Super Mario Odyssey probably is the best Super Mario game out there. The reason why, the levels are great and diverse. You get the same fun gameplay mechanics while also trying stuff that's new. Mario can take his hat, Cappy I think is the hat's name, throw it onto things, transform into those items or control those items, or control a dinosaur, control a car, control a this or that. So much fun. And then on top of it, there are these hidden moons all throughout. Now when I talk about going back and replaying games, I have gone back to replay this several times since finishing it. I'll often just pick it up and be like, oh, there's a moon over here, let me go get this, or let me go try to get this. It still keeps me coming back. And then also you got the store where you can buy all the different costumes for Mario, the upgradable items. I love that. I love having like an old school looking Mario from like the 1980s, or like a brand new decked out James Bond style Mario with like a suit and tie on. Outstanding game. Great memories tied to this. Great game. Arguably the greatest Mario game of all time. Okay, so at the start of this video I mentioned I was going to give you a highlight into some of the games I've played that did not make this list. So I know this is going to tick a lot of people off. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not a game for me, and I'll tell you why. The game, even at 150cc, way too slow. It doesn't feel nearly as fast to me racing it as some of the other Mario games that are out there. I know I'm thinking like Mario 64, or even the GameCube Mario. I know people are going to boo and tear me up in the comments on those statements, but hey, that's my opinion. Other ones that didn't make the list, so Super Smash Brothers. Played it, loved it, great game, but not the top 10 best for me. If we're talking best Smash Bros games I ever played, for me it's either the GameCube version, I think that was Brawl, or the Wii version, Melee. And maybe I'm reversing the titles, forgive me. But GameCube and Wii, those were the top two Smash Bros for me. Everything else is just trying to play catch up to those. And now to talk about some of the games that I haven't played that could be contenders. So I already mentioned Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Haven't played it. Can't really put that on the list. Same thing with Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Same thing with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But, you know, I feel like I've done a lot of work playing through the Nintendo Switch library. I've at least played some of the bangers, the heavy hitters. You know, there you have it. So, just my opinion on the list. The list is going to change over time as I play more games, but I'm very curious to know your thoughts. And like I said at the beginning of the video, approximately 90% of you watching this probably will never come back to the channel or aren't subscribers. If you like this content, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment. It really helps me out and lets me know to keep making videos like this that you'll enjoy. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing. We'll catch you next time.